This is TW Battles doing commentary for Shogun 2 Total War. I am playing Mori and my opponent is Uesugi. Let's take a look at my fleet. I have not done too much naval battles in any of the Total War games. A few in Napoleon Total War and a few in Empire, but certainly none in Shogun 2 Total War, so it should be a fun battle. It's my Mori Firebomb Kobaya. Cannon Bune. That's an 8 cannon ship. Looks like 4 on each side. You can see the hatches there. Very cool. And this is Otaka Bune. I'm not really sure what this one does. It looks like a bunch of guys on the deck that just will fire arrows at you. Look at this monster. The Nihon Maru. This thing has all kinds of firepower. And another Cannon Bune. And I have 5 ships versus my opponent's 7. Mine are better ships overall. I believe that's the general ship right there. 2, 3 of those medium Bunes. 2 heavies. And another heavy. 3 heavies. 2 mediums. Now let's see, here's my general ship here, dropping mines. As soon as I learned I could drop some mines, I immediately started, tossing them in the path of the oncoming ships, and let's see what these things do. I'm not really sure what's inside of those things, but there's the general ship of the Uesugi firing on my general ship. And immediately that ship is going to rout. I'm not sure why they routed so quickly, but they did. And let's get a close-up. Looks like it's going right for that mine. This should be great. Bam! You can see the guys go flying there. A bunch of guys go flying overboard. Take a look at those guys in a second. And some multiple explosions there, and that's pretty much going to put that ship out of commission. And real quick, I'm going to promote my website, TotalGettysburg.com, all about the Battle of Gettysburg. You can see these guys treading water here in armor. I don't know how realistic that is. You would think those guys would sink right to the bottom, but they are able to tread water for some time. I'm going to take you inside this ship over here. This is the heavy Bune. This is the biggest ship you can take to a battle. And you can hear the creaking of the boat. That's pretty awesome. And you can see, I'm just kind of drawing these other ships in. Oh, look at that artillery shot right there. A bunch of guys going down. You see some other guys staggering there. And they're actually going to run their ship right into that general ship, which is incapacitated. I believe that general ship is surrendered. You can see my guys firing arrows right there. There's an explosion on the side. That must have been one of my cannon from my ship we just looked at there. I'm not really too familiar with these ships and what they do, as this being my first battle, but this was a lot easier to learn than the naval battles on Empire Total War, Napoleon Total War, that's for sure. And these go a little quicker too, which is good. I got a little bored with some of those other battles on the other games, and I actually had a lot of fun with this one. So we'll continue to see how this battle progresses. And if you guys haven't noticed already, I've unrestricted my camera so I can get down in the ships and get down low. There is a way to adjust a setting on your preference files. To be able to move your camera anywhere you really want to. I can go underwater, I can go inside a ship, I can go up high and see everything below. And if you guys are looking at it, if you want to know how to change that setting, just send me a note and I'll go ahead and post it. It's pretty easy. Okay, I was trying to do a boarding here. I don't really know how that works, but it seems like my guys threw a rope over. And They're going to try and reel that other ship in. Just having this really big ship, I figured I probably had more guys on my ship. Looks like I have 80 guys on my ship. And, you know, I more than double outnumber the guys on this ship. So I thought if I board it, I could probably take care of these guys pretty quickly. Oh, you can see some guys jumping overboard there in the general ship. We got a fire there. Looks like those guys were jumping overboard to get away from the fire. See, this heavy Bune ship is, not sure if it's routing. I couldn't really tell sometimes what was going on with these, but at the very least they're in trouble. I'm sending a lot of cannon fire into the side of that ship. Oh, it says routing, not in combat. See, those guys still have their bows cocked there, but they're not able to fire them because they're routing. And here's my other attempt at boarding this other ship. And you can see there's my heavy Bune, my opponent's heavy Bune, and that smaller ship there, the medium one. And you can see how cool it is with all these arrows sticking in the side of the boat. Look at that, pretty cool. You can see because I'm so high up here and my opponent is so low, they effectively can't hit me with their arrows. All of their arrows are hitting the side of the ship, so you could see the advantage of being up high like that. Looks like the heavy Bune ship isn't really firing too much on me. Looks like they're down below half strength manpower. I must have done some damage to that ship. Okay, let's take a look here. Here's my general ship getting fired upon. And the cool thing about that ship is it's very fast, so I can really maneuver it and get it out of the way of danger quickly. Here's my Otaka Bune ship. And I don't really know what the point of this ship is. It doesn't really have a cannon. I guess it's just these guys all standing on the deck that are able to shoot, but other than that I couldn't really see where the firepower on that boat was. Okay, my guy's getting some shots off. I really like the option for maps you have to play on these naval battles. Most of them are kind of like this. They have a lot of you know, geographical iron features. You see all these dead guys on the ship there. I was trying to see if I can see some arrows sticking at any of the guys. You might see some right there. But they're pretty interesting because they have land in the background and you have to navigate your ships around these islands and stuff, so a little better in my opinion than a lot of the Napoleon or Empire Total War naval battles where you're out in the middle of the ocean and you really had no frame of reference or, you know, nothing to add interest to the battle other than the ships themselves. So I'm really excited about this. You can see I'm able to bring this really small ship close to that island. There's my general right there, standing tall.
Here they come! Prepare to repel boulders!
But anyway, here's my Nihon Maru, and I get kind of stuck by this island. We'll go back to that later, but you can see right here I've been boarded, and I wasn't really sure what the deal was with boarding, but it seems like they have a lot more guys than I do, so they're pretty much going to beat me in this fight. And I think in these fights it really is, you know, just like any other battle on the battlefield, it's a lot of times just a matter of numbers. So you know, they were able to get my ship to surrender, and their guys are going to go ahead and jump back on their ship. You see some of those guys writhing in pain there. And I'm going below board on my ship here, and see there's still a bunch of guys that are on the ship, so I don't really get it. I guess when you surrender, you just stay on the ship. I don't know, I couldn't really figure out what was going on, but I had all those guys that, you know, were just on the bottom deck of the ship and weren't really involved in the fight. Alright, so here's my monster Nihon Maru, and it kind of gets stuck over here. Once I get up alongside the ship, I couldn't get it out of there, and I don't think I realized that this ship had surrendered, so I was still trying to pelt it with arrows and such, but I get my big ship stuck over here for a little while, and I tried everything to get out. Eventually I do get it out, but it took me a really long time. Okay, so you see I've taken out a couple of those ships over there. That heavy bune, that medium one in the background, and I fast forwarded just a little bit. I cut out about a minute or two. That was kind of boring. Let's go inside this ship. This is my cannon bune. You can see my cannons, 4 on each side there. And forgive me if I'm pronouncing these ships incorrectly. I haven't really researched the pronunciations on them. I'm just kind of winging it. Oh, you can see some nice cannon fire there, right into this heavy bune. I think I did a pretty good job in this battle. I mean, considering my opponent had 3 of these really big, heavy ships, I'm doing a yeoman's job on this battle. All right, let's take a look. There's my cannon right there. We can see the. You can see it right there. That's where those guys are firing from. And I was hoping we could see a shot there, but again, my boat's stuck over here. I don't know how to get it out. It looks like my guys are rowing. You can see here I'm not really hitting the bottom, so I'm just a little confused why I got stuck there. Maybe it was just a glitch, or that other boat had me kind of boxed in, but I'm not really touching that boat, so I don't really know what's going on. But I guess I'll figure it out as I play more battles. And you can see that Uesugi ship is... looked like they were pretty close to routing there. I don't know how they came back from routing, but they're back in the fight here. I need to get my ship spun around here so I can get some shots off. You can see I've lost no guys and no cannon. You can see 8 of 8 cannons still intact, 48 guys altogether. I'm not really sure what the purpose of those guys are down there, other than maybe they're a boarding party if I am able to, you know, get close to the ship and try and board it. Alright, see if I can get swung around and get some cannon shots off there. You can see how sloppily put together that heavy bune ship is there. I mean, that thing looks a little dicey. I wouldn't want to go too far from land in that thing. I mean, it barely looks like it could float. At least these here look kind of sturdy. That bune ship looks like it's just a bunch of, you know, boards slapped together. Not too, you know, encouraging getting on that thing going out in the water. You can see the inside of it here. There's where some of my cannon, you know, shots came through the side, and you know, some dead soldiers in there. Pretty cool though. There's some of the parts that broke off from the ship from my artillery fire. See these guys still treading water over there. How these guys are staying afloat in full armor is beyond me. You wouldn't think these guys could stay afloat for 5 seconds, let alone, you know, the 15 or so minutes they've been treading water here. Okay, you can see these 2 Uesugi ships come in and ram my boat. They kind of sandwich it. You know, the bow of that boat goes right into my side, and I'm really just trying to get my boat out of there because that can't be too good damage-wise. So there's my Nihon Maru in the background over there. If I can only get that thing loose and back in the fight, I can really, you know, take this battle over. But as it is, I think I have all my ships still intact, and my enemy may have, I think, 2 ships intact. So the heavy bune right there is just starting to rout. See some smoke coming out of there. I believe I just fired some cannons at that heavy ship. You can see the wake of damage left there, all the parts of ship. Alright, and this other ship's going to come broadside here, this medium bune, and I'm going to try and stay with it. And you can see we're neck and neck here, and I'm going to try and get some cannon shots off at close range. That ought to make it rout. Before I can do that, you can see my ship starts to rout. I think just being sandwiched in between those 2 ships for such a period of time, and you know, clanking sides with them, just made my ship rout. Okay, you see my general staff had routed a little earlier, but they're back in the game, and that ship's going to come back from routing. And here's the heavy bune coming up on my Nihon Maru, and even though my ship is kind of stuck there, you can see, oh, finally, you see it moving there. I was able to get it loose. I'm going to go ahead and get some shots off. Oh, there we go. There's a boarding line, so I'm reeling this ship in. You see my guys with arrows just pelting these guys over here. Watch the barrage of arrows these guys take right here. Bam. See guys going down there. And once I get this ship to rout, which is any second now, that's pretty much going to do it for this battle. So I hope you enjoyed this naval battle.